Hello, artisans and crafters, and welcome to Psychedelic Squid Fiber Arts. Today I'm going to show you all how to do a deep clean and oiling on your wheel. You can go from this to this to this. To start, you'll need rags, Fauna hardwood floor cleaner, Howard's Feed and Wax, Brasso, paper towels, leather oil, I like to use neat's foot, paraffin wax, painter's tape, spinning wheel oil, scrub brushes, toothpicks, and gloves. This is exactly how I got the spinning wheel, and this is the ad I got it from. Here's how it looks assembled, and here you can see how grimy it is. Dirt is literally falling off of it. Here's an up close of the mother of all, and you can see it was nailed, so it won't come apart. You can see I only have 2/3 of a distaff. I'm missing the last piece. To start, you'll want to disassemble your wheel as much as you can. First, I like to start off with the hardwood floor cleaner and a rag to wipe down the wheel really well. I'm only spraying it directly on the wheel right now because of how much dirt there is on there. You could also use Murphy's orange oil soap for the initial clean, or water with a small amount of dish soap in it, but I would avoid spraying either of these directly on the wheel. If you do use the orange oil soap, remember not to get on the drive band, whirls, anywhere the drive band sits, or any of the wood gears. Since this wheel is so dirty, it took a while to clean. So I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead so we can see everything now that it's been cleaned. Now that it's all clean, you can see that it's dark from where the wheel was oiled. I'm going to scrub this down with a wire brush and lightly sand it with 220 grit sandpaper, but it's going to stay darker, which is why I'm going to stain it later. If your flyer is rusted like mine, you're going to want to tape off the wood before you start to clean the metal. You'll have to be extra cautious with Brasso or any other metal cleaner because it can damage the wood. This will take some elbow grease, but you can see it polishes right up. For the orifice, you'll want to clean it out with a pipe cleaner if you can, and then run a wet paper towel through it to clean off any Brasso residue. I'm going to do the same to the metal axle as it's rusted. Here's the wheel completely cleaned, and next we're going to oil it. Like I said, I didn't like the stain portion, so I'm going to stain the wheel darker to hide it. I'll do a video on that later, but right now we can start oiling the wood. For oiling the wheel, I'm going to be using Howard's beeswax and orange oil. Remember not to get this into the grooves where your drive band or brake band sits. The reason why you don't want the oil to get there is because it can cause the drive band to become slippery and make it slip. If you do get some feed and wax or oil on the axle or near the drive band grooves, don't worry, just wipe it off as soon as you can. If you really need to, you can follow up with some rubbing alcohol. Then, we're just going to follow the directions on the bottle and apply with a rag or paper towels, leaving a nice even coat on it. I'm going to let it sit for 15 to 20 minutes. After that, we're going to wipe off all the excess and polish it up. After oiling the wheel, I like to put a bit of paraffin wax wherever the wood has any sort of moving parts, like the mother of all tensioner threads, or in some cases with older wheels like this one where the axle sits directly on the wood of the wheel. Here I'm melting the paraffin wax directly onto the threads, but other places where that's harder to do, you can use a toothpick to create wax shavings to put into the crevices. I don't recommend using oil or beeswax on the moving wood parts because oil can cause the wood to swell and beeswax can cause them to stick. After the wax, I like to oil the metal on metal bearings using oilment for spinning wheels. I got a few ounces that came with my wheel, but if you don't have any, don't worry, you can order some online or you can just use oil without additives such as sewing machine oil, 30 weight oil, or gun oil. So I really like these long tip bottles so I can put the oil exactly where I want it, which is usually on the axle bearings, and I like to wipe a small amount of oil on the outside of the orifice and on the axle that the bobbin sits on since they're metal. Lastly, I like to oil the leather, but this doesn't need to be done that often, only when the leather's gotten extremely dry. So I only do it once or twice a year depending on its condition. You don't want to use too much leather oil and you don't want to do it too often because it softens the leather and most of these leather parts need to remain fairly rigid. And there you go, a beautifully cleaned wheel ready for use. If you have questions, let me know in the comments below. Thank you all so much for exploring the depths of your creativity with me, and I'll see you next time.